So we live in this new world now where kind of, things is kind of intertwined. Women
Yeah.
doing the fella things, and you got dudes doing the lady kind of roles. Men wash dishes and cook and shit these days.
Yeah.
Back in the day, my granddad and my uncles, you'd never find them washing no damn dishes. So
Yeah.
my question is, and I know Sweet Lou wasn't washing no dishes either.
Pops was washing dishes. He was a
If
knee
I was
freak.
washing dishes,
He's a knee freak. You know what I'm saying? My pops, he
okay,
like
he was washing
he
dishes.
yeah, he is a knee freak. You know what I'm saying? We was
Uh,
washing our own dishes too, for sure.
all right, so I got a question.
Hmm.
Do you guys feel that gender roles are important in relationships, or do you feel like at times the roles can overlap? Meaning, if your wife is working late, it's okay for you to step up and go ahead and cook that meal. So when she come home, it's already prepared and ready. Or it's like it don't matter if I come home early and she ain't there yet. When she get home late at 6 or 7, she should still go in that kitchen and cook. Or
Nah.
is it, is
Yeah.
it just a straight line like the men on this side and the women on this side, and that's just what it is?
I like how you posed that question, man. I think that well, did you want to go first, Lucha, or you care if I go first?
Yeah, do your thing. I
All
got
right.
the shit. I'm listening.
All right. So I don't think it's a straight line. Um, I've been in my relationship for quite some time, and it is situations where, you're gonna have to do something that's outside of like the norm for like men. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Your girl might have to go take care of this, so you might have to cook. I personally don't mind like contributing. I'll put it like this: our gender roles kind of are more traditional, but just on the more serious stuff. Like I'm the protector of this house. You know what I'm saying? I'm the biggest person in this house. I'm more athletic. I'm more capable of protecting everybody else in the house. So it's just I fit the role. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
My girl, she more nurturing than me. Like, I tell my kids all the time, like, man, y'all got the sweetest mom in the world. She love y'all to death. You know what I'm saying? Like I could say, hey man, why you ain't fold your clothes up? And she answering the questions. Like, because he had homework. I'm like, okay, I was talking to you, I was talking to him. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it's like that. I'll just be like, here you go, defending your kids again. You know what I'm saying?
Let me
And so
take
it's like,
this.
yeah, so she just naturally more like, nah, don't be talking to them like that. She
That's
just
Mama
real,
Bear.
yeah, she's just real protective of the kids. But nah, I don't think it's like straight lines. I think we touched on this in the past when we was talking about like, the guys who just like, like this and this and that. And I noticed a lot of times those dudes are single. You know what I'm saying? And vice versa with women who talk about what a man got to, a lot of times they be single. And a lot of times people that's in happy relationships understand that like compromise and go both ways. And you know what I'm saying? Like, especially when you marry, you say through thick and thin, sickness and health, death do us part. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, like,
Mm-hmm.
you gotta. I look at a relationship. I'm past the mic. I know I'll get long with it. I look at when you become one with a person and you solidify your family, especially when y'all start bringing children into this world. I feel like you become one, with your kids as well. Like we was talking on the phone yesterday, and Hawk and Rob was talking about, some investments and stuff like that. And one of the things I said was, let me consult my wife. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me holler at her first, not because
Mm-hmm.
she control and she call the shots. It's just like sometimes you need a second answer because it be shit that I do not be thinking about, like registration. Like the kids, you know what I'm saying? My daughter, her gymnastics is $130 a month. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I didn't even know it was that much, bro. I'm like, what the fuck? You
But
know what I'm
they
saying?
need a slipping.
Yeah,
You
I
gotta do
just
that
seen that.
outside on the trampoline.
I just seen that in the account today. I'm like, what? She's like, yeah, She said, I think whatever the math is on that. She was like, it's 100. She was like, it's $35 a week or some shit like that. I forgot. I don't know. Don't come from me. See me 70. That's 140 though. If it is 35
Yeah,
times
yeah, it
40,
don't matter.
140.
Yeah,
But
35 to
y'all get the
140.
point. It's 130. So if it's 130, that means that's like what 32. No, that's not 32 because it's 4. I don't know. Somebody help me in the comments. Yeah,
30,
whoever.
30,
But
but 30 times 4 is 120. So,
yeah, I know.
you can add a
Yeah,
little
that was the
bit.
answer.
Like, you might be at 3250 or something like that.
That's what I was thinking. I was gonna say 3250. But the moral of the story at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? No, I don't believe in straight lines. I feel like those people find out the hard way. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's my answer to that.
Yeah. Lucci?
Uh, Gender roles, man, I think that a lot of times today is starting to play a big role and try to tell people what it is. But one thing that I say, I think gender roles have
Bless you.
definitely changed, bless
Thank you.
you, have definitely changed from the old times coming into now. I think nothing is really traditional anymore. You see some stuff online talking about if you want a traditional woman, you need to be a traditional man. Well, all right, well, sit your ass in the
Can you
house
build a
then.
house from the ground up?
Yeah, don't say
Uh-oh.
shit back. You know what I'm saying? Don't talk. But one thing that I kind of said in terms of gender roles is that during those times, a lot of women couldn't have jobs. They couldn't prioritize, their emotions and how they feel. A lot of it was just shut down because of how the times were. In today's time, I feel like
You got
gender
a
roles
knuckle
have
sandwich
definitely
back in the 40s.
changed. I think gender roles have definitely changed to where a lot of men still want to be traditional, but it's not necessary like that for women because they had a control of their own funds now. Like as men, we were always taught to keep stuff together, to do stuff. Whereas in my opinion, I don't feel necessary as 100%. I feel like a lot of women were taught to have their own, like just get yours. And if anything, you're taking care of the kids, and I'm gonna do this for mine. And it's never really thinking about what they're gonna do for the man. And I'm not
Yeah.
saying for everybody. I'm just saying for a good portion of our generation right now.
Mhm.
Um, I think a lot of gender roles are starting to mess up in relationships because of what people expect rather than what to learn from each other, and then have a certain expectation that they put it to the table together.
Mhm.
And so, me personally, I would say I think gender roles, and I just kind of piggyback to social media and stuff. Cause shit, man, if back then, if it was stuff on social media, I'm sure a lot of stuff probably would have been messed up. You
Would have
know,
been a lot of people getting canceled for
you
sure.
know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like it would have been a lot going
Back in the
on.
day, just getting canceled.
You feel me? So,
Cats
well,
walking
what
in
the,
on cats walking in on their wives on live stream. Get off of that live stream and get
Get
on
in
in
this
here.
kitchen.
You know what I'm saying?
come get up in here right now. You know what I'm saying? And so,
Yeah.
I think in
I've been
today's
working all
time,
day. Where my dinner at? You know what I'm saying? Shit like that.
they might be get your ass up out of here. Get all in the camera.
Pull that
But
goddamn
I
thing
think
off.
I think necessarily I think the priority of what a gender role is today is I think to recognize what it is that you have in a relationship rather than comparing to what you're talking about outside of what you guys are building in your relationship. So say for instance, like you said, maybe the chick she gotta go and she gotta go work late at night. And so you gonna come home and cook. I'll just have a definition of what men cooking might be. We might be at the park cooking burgers on the grill. I mean, it don't mean necessarily we might be in a house cooking, but
Yeah.
I think a lot of times in today's time too, as men, we were taught to cook because they talk about single parenting and single mothers and stuff like that. So a lot of men know how to cook, I would think. Speaking about Pop, he did cook, and he taught us a lot of things when it came to cooking too. But I used to, watch my mom cook. My mom can throw some meat in a pause, you know what I'm saying, inside the skillet and just season it and then make burgers out of it. And I'm like, damn, how did she do that? She didn't form it or nothing, just straight cooking. You know what I'm saying?
You
I
just
try
said
to
some
do it.
funny shit to me, dog. I'm sorry, dog. I can't skip by it. I'm
What
like,
happened?
you kids. He said, he's like, I think a lot of men can cook. So I got all these single women. He's like, all these single moms. He's like, I'm pretty sure men know how to cook. You know what I'm saying? Because you think about it, like this nigga by himself, he like, shit, I'm about to
Nigga
cook
better know how to
something.
cook.
You feel me? But I think
I know that just is
personally,
funny to me.
I think personally, like I said, like to understand the role in what you have in terms of being together in your relationship. And if people understand right now, if our culture would do any type of reading, any kind of research, have any form of understanding, man, on some real talk, woman is rising way more than a lot of men are right now.
Mhm.
And because of that, I mean, of course, certain roles gonna change, and that's because a lot of men are becoming weak
Yeah.
and they're not standing on what it is their morals is and what their role is, regardless of how you think something is good or man, I love getting this pussy, man. Nah, you gotta really stand in yourself and say, man, this is who I am, regardless if you're gonna stay or not. And I think a lot of men, we are in a form of lust, and where women are taught like, hey, you gotta make this happen. you don't see as men coming together like we did when we saw our fathers being young and they really having means and talking to each other. Women still doing stuff like that today. And I'm not comparing both sides. I'm not, it's no comparison, but what I'm just saying is I just think the roles are intertwined. It ain't no reverse. It ain't no this one is this way, this one is that way. I think it's intertwined in ways to where do you fit in your relationship? Me
I seen.
personally,
Uh,
go ahead.
I didn't want to cut you off. It's just when you said that, like, it made me think of this movie that Trina was in, like back in the early 2000s.
I'm like, Trina, the actress.
Yeah, she was in this movie in the early 2000s, and this is a horrible script, dog. But in the movie, I guess she was trying to get the dudes to stop gang banging or something like that. And like she came up with this bright idea to get all the women together, and they decided that as long as the men is out doing, the street shit and all that, that they wasn't gonna give them none. And that's how they straightened. That's how they fixed their community. I was like, that's just so
Like
stupid, bro.
Chirac and shit. Like,
I'm just saying it was just so stupid. I was just
yeah.
like, I ain't mad at them for trying, but like, is that the answer? You think like
And I
men
feel
really
like
care
I
that
feel
much?
like today too,
Like I ain't
a
gonna
lot
get
of
money. I ain't gonna get no money in this community. Let me stop getting money so that way I can get. It's like,
I
yo,
get some pussy,
it's
man.
like
I'm ready.
I'm just saying it's a 10-mile. It's a 10-mile city. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't just go outside the city and go kick it with some other chicks. Like I
Mm-hmm.
don't know, man. I'm gonna find that movie, dog. That shit was horrible, by the
I
way.
I know, and I feel like I feel like a lot of as a man, I start realizing the importance of yourself and who you are compared to what you want. The needs are different than what we want. We don't always need to have like we'll dumb down to please a woman. You don't have to please a woman to get what you need.
It was
You know what
called
I'm
a Miami.
saying?
It was called a Miami Tale.
Miami tell.
Yeah, they
Sound
got
low
it.
budget.
They got a 61% on Rotten Tomatoes. But shout out them. I ain't even trying to, hate on them. But the plot of it was the woman of Liberty City protests the disrespect of women. Oh, that's what it was. The disrespect of women
And
by
what is
refusing sex
disrespect,
to their.
man? That's
That's what
some
it says. So this is literally what it says. It says the women of Liberty City protest the disrespect of women by refusing sex to their gang banging boyfriends. So I
man.
was not
I got
wrong.
I got something to that too. This is the crazy part. And I think I'm
I
going
don't know
right
how
back to
that got
social
to do with
media.
gender rolling, but
I think it go back to
understand.
social media influence.
Yeah.
Man, every time you see on here, girl, you don't need that man because da da da. Or it's always a post that say something wild about man, but just be honest. It's a lot of women that be doing some backdoor shit that a lot of people just don't see. But because of the support that this influence is going through in terms of social media, it make you look good, man. And so a lot of us men don't speak up, or you know what I'm saying? Like I said, just being able to express and being able to understand rather than seeing all of this stuff. So I think like man, these roles is like I said, it's very confusing nowadays. Unless you can prioritize and find out what it is you're dealing with when you're talking to somebody, rather than you just going there and freelancing some shit.
What you think, Birdman? How you feel about that question?
I feel as if uh they're important. You need gender roles, but as much as they're important, like they are intertwined. Like it's not 1940, it ain't 1930. Like it's a little
Oh,
different. The world has changed a lot. So as much as things have changed, they are still the same. Like you said, you the biggest dude in your house. It makes sense. You're the protector.
Yeah.
Bring
I'm the only
naturally
dude in the
girl,
house too.
huh?
I'm the only dude in the house too.
Nah,
Well, I got two sons,
both.
but
Yeah, both second in command. So
oh yeah, he trained
yeah.
up.
So I
Yeah.
just feel like you gotta, for one, if like you said, you guys are one, right? In a relationship. If you're
Mm-hmm.
married, you got a girl, whatever the case may be, you got to find out what you do best, what she does best, and let that person take the lead on certain projects or like tasks because every woman's not a great cook. And that's just what I'm saying because typically they look at women as the cook of the house.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's the man that's better. So if he better, he should be cooking most of the meals probably,
Yeah.
right? That's
Hey, so let
just
me ask you. This:
nature of it. Huh?
if he a better cook and he go to work all day, should he just stay home and do the cooking?
No.
Would that ever? Do you think that would be okay in a society like in our society? Like if a man was like, because me and my wife talk about it all the time. If a man was just like, all right, babe, go to work. I got the kids. I got dinner. You know what I'm saying? Like,
what's funny is I think people, like Keenan said, like social media, and they get
Mhm.
so wrapped up what people think is
Yeah.
right and what's wrong.
yeah,
If like Keenan said, we got a lot of women, especially in the black community, that have a
Mhm.
lot more education than black men right now. They
yeah,
get master's degrees, PhDs, they got their bachelors, and a lot of dudes barely get their fucking GED or their high school diploma.
yeah,
And what I'm getting at is, yeah, she may be the breadwinner. Typically, men are the breadwinner in society, right?
yeah,
Things are kind of shifting. And what happens is sometimes they feel as if some people, the men on their side, I ain't dating no chick that make more money than me. And then the women's like, oh, I ain't dating nobody that make less than me. And then it's like, yeah, then just be fucking single and unhappy because y'all got this fucking thing in your head to think that because you make more money
yeah,
that you're better than. It's like that has nothing to do with being a productive relationship.
yeah,
So what I'm trying to say is this: it don't matter what Instagram, social media say, and society say in your relationship. Do what the fuck is gonna make you and your spouse happy, regardless of the gender role. If she
yeah.
make more money, so be it. If he make less, so be it. He could be a school teacher, special needs teacher, and he love it, and he's
That's
giving
right.
back to the community. And you are OBGYN or something, and you make way more than y'all both doing
Yeah,
something extremely excellent. Yeah,
yeah,
you make more, and that's a little, it's different than what society says is the norm, but
yeah,
it works for y'all. So why not do what works for you when you both happy in your relationship, rather than getting wrapped up in social media? And that's how I look at it.
yeah.
So do what
Absolutely.
works for you and your,
And I feel
relationship.
this.
Situation.
I
So
Yeah,
it's
feel
no
I
one way. No one
I
no
way.
feel
one way.
like this too, man. If they want to think about the roles of how two people want to be, I think most of the time as men we feed strong on our ego. So if a woman just came out and be like, nigga, you sexy, you might walk out the fucking door and go hit the lottery for her right now, nigga, just on that comment. I think the role of a woman, and in terms of her influence to her man, how she pump him up, how she feed that meal, or how she pray for him, how she rub his shoulders. Anything that a woman does can influence a man. You know why? Because it
Speak the
goes back
confidence
to
into
this.
them.
As we were kids, our moms was doing this shit all the ways. They was already doing it. So if a woman, not saying that a woman got to do the same thing your mom is doing, but like it's like they're drilling into our shit.
But
You
see,
know what I'm saying?
that go both ways in a relationship.
Yeah.
The guy
But
also
look,
got to do the same
but if
thing.
you do something for a man, like say your woman do something for you, nigga, you gonna go do it times 10. So I know what you're saying. But
Yeah,
that little bit of a seed that she just planted, nigga, we just grew 100 now because you just baby, you just did that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that I feel like the in terms of the roles, if we can understand and can really push the narrative of how to understand, like as men, like we've been in, like, man, look at the medieval times and stuff. Them niggas was about to go die. And them girls was really telling them, baby, you are the best and all that. And they was really like, nigga, we gonna make it home. You know what I'm saying? Like 300, nigga, them niggas was like, bro, we going home, bro. And so the woman influence, I think, is like a big part if we think about the role of the relationship. And I think, to be honest, that's a chunk. That's a chunk. I'm not saying it's a super one, but I think that chunk right there can actually help the entire home, the entire protection. For you to go out there and be that breadwinner, regardless of who it is.
Yeah.
Even if she's the breadwinner, she still talk to you and tell you, man, like that shit means a lot.
hmm
I hear you on that. Yeah, man.
think we all saying the same thing.
In a way, yeah. It's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like it's a little bit of tradition, but you like, I don't know, grandpa. I like the way my
Yeah,
salmon tastes. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying?
man, she cool at cooking it, but
Yeah, you
I
know.
couldn't handle this.
She keep on, washing my blacks on hot. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm
Making
saying?
Nigga,
all
My
my
clothes
shit
is
dingy.
yeah.
man.
You know what I'm saying? Now everything looking
She
great
done
now. You
drive
know
this
what I'm
shirt
saying?
twice. I told her to
Yeah.
hang this shit. Like, come